lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Manny.
And today we're going to be talking about a book that has long been on my radar, but for whatever reason, it hasn't entered my collection. I bought it recently. We're talking Wolverine, The Jungle Adventure, Walter Simonson and Mike Mignola, and Bob Wyasek. This is, first of all, this cover is so awesome. Wolverine facing off against Apocalypse. You got this jungle girl. This looks very reminiscent of like a Frazetta painting right here.
I was about to say that same thing, dude. This is straight up Frazetta. It might even be like a swipe.
It might be, yeah. Before we get into it, though, I want to remind everybody, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Check out some of the rest of the dope content on the channel. We have comic books going back from the Silver Age, Modern Age, Indie, big publishers, all that good stuff. So hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into this book, dude. So I called out those three creators, but Mark Chiarello as the colorist. He's an amazing colorist. I believe he was the art director at DC for a long time. He's his brainchild was Solo, those one shots. He did the Wednesday comics. He's the guy that thought to do Batman black and white. He has had his fingerprints on a lot of great projects. His coloring, he's done a lot of coloring with Tim Sale. I think you can kind of get that vibe from here too. This looks a little bit like the same style of the books that he colored with Tim Sale.
Did he do Long Halloween and Dark Victory and all those with him?
I feel like he did both of those. I don't want to.
Right, but the coloring here feels like the coloring in those books.
Right, I feel like he did do both of those, and he definitely did like the one shots that they did.
Yes,
that were in Haunted Night, the different Halloween specials. Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to him because I feel like he's a name that not enough people talk about, and he's a huge part of a lot of great stuff that have come out in comic books. So we open up with this like chief telling a story to the tribe, dude. The son of heaven coming down. And the funny part of this is they're like huddled around this rock, right? And there's just a lighter on top of it. I thought that was pretty funny. And then we get the plane coming and landing in, and who is it? None other than Wolverine. And we see that it's his lighter. And he goes up and grabs it, and it says to Logan from Nick, and then it's got the Shield logo on it.
A little reminiscent of or I guess it'd be the other way around, Preacher and the fuck communism lighter, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm always a fan of little things like that.
I love it, dude. I love this panel of him just clicking the lighter, lighting that cigar up, dude. And he's just like, oh, what's happening, bub? Everybody's just praising him. These guys are kind of they're like cavemen. Not everybody in the tribe, though. That's what's interesting is not everybody is like, some of them are more advanced human beings.
And not to bury the lead, but we don't find out right away, but we are in the Savage Land, which again, I love when Marvel uses them Savage Land. I wish they would use it more often. It's a cool setting, and like you can tell so many stories with it.
Yeah, dude, it is a great concept in Marvel that's not utilized well. I mean, like Kazar, Sheena, both of those characters, like, but I don't know. I feel like they just don't sell when they do those books. But yes, having them within like high selling titles, I wish they would do more of.
Yeah, like we had the X-Men were in the Savage Land for a long period,
Mm-hmm.
like that's a great X-Men period.
So we get this fucking massive person dressed up with this crazy looking mask. Obviously, it's like, the strongest member of the tribe is kind of like how I took it,
Yeah, and biggest too. They're bigger than Logan, which is not saying a lot because this is like we always talk about, like when they still drew Logan to be small.
Yeah, I know. There's a panel in here that's pretty funny where they kind of mention his height. But I love this. He's like, I've seen every Tarzan movie ever made. I get the picture. Yeah. And like, oh, you talk like a mad demon, and fucking just whacks him, dude. I love it. That was uncalled for, mister. Ruined a good chair, which I'm imagining is the name of the cigar. I'm not like well versed in cigars or anything, but I love the inner dialogue here. He tells himself to go easy. He doesn't want to freak him out, so he doesn't pop the claws.
Yeah, well, I love the art by Mignola in this period. He also did that Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom book. That would be a good one to do too.
Dude, I've been looking for that book for a long time. I cannot find that for like a reasonable price.
Yeah, I ended up just getting a digital copy because I can't afford or to get the real copy.
You know what else is interesting? A lot of browns.
And it looks like kind of black coloring. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a lot of earthy tones,
Yeah.
And here we
It's
go.
a different palette for Mignola's art, you know, which is usually a lot of deep reds, deep blacks.
I mean, you look on this page, a lot of deep blacks here,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in shadow. But Wolverine systematically takes down this character, Gak. I don't know how is it? Probably Gok. So now, he's being hailed as the son of heaven, and now he's the chief of the tribe of fire. Gok's cave is now your cave. And he's like, oh, I thought it might work like that. Give me a hand with my plane. And so he goes into this cave, and we see like this skull of some larger creature, right? Like this animal that this skull came from had to have been massive. And we see Gok come in, and we learn that it's a woman. So, I'm no longer the chief. These are not your people, but mine, and I will protect them from any enemy if I can. I have come seeking answers. And dude, he's like super, I mean, obviously he's super into her. And
Yeah.
I love this. You're so short. And I always thought I always thought the gods would be solemn, though I do not understand much of what you say. I hear laughter behind your words. And he just like so taken aback.
She kisses him and shit.
Uh-huh.
This is back when Wolverine will, Wolverine like Daredevil, bro. He fucks,
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's definitely. I think we talked about it in that Wolverine issue we did, Wolverine 17, where like this stuff's implied. They don't necessarily like show you what's happening, but we get a little story. He's talking about this invitation he got as Patch. I like the way the color palette changes as we do this flashback too.
I do too, man. It makes me want to like. I would love to see more Patch stuff done like this.
This right here, dude. Wolverine. Who wants to know? It not matter now. And then boom, pops the claws. Super cinematic here. I love that, dude. And then the bright orange fire.
Yeah, dude. And that panel down there with him hiding behind like the piece of concrete, and like just so much energy to this. Like you said, cinematic. The contrast between the orange and the previous, almost black and white images really sells the entire scene. And like, it makes it like very intense.
Yeah. And almost almost completely in shadow, all the characters, you get a little bit of Wolverine with a little bit of light. I love the way the water coming out of that fire hydrant is just completely white. Makes it stand out.
Color, yeah.
And then Dallas is this character that's lit on fire. And now he's down to bare bones skeleton, but he's made out of metal, which is pretty crazy.
I love this panel too with Wolverine over the robot. Earth, damp, lizards, jungle. I know that smell. The Savage Land. This Johnny came from the Savage Land. It's also like the dialogue is very much like Fillmore, like hard-boiled detective, and that's Patch. Like Patch kind of falls into that genre. He flies over to he takes a boat over, takes a plane off the boat to the Savage Land.
Yeah, and then here we go. We got this. He says he still hasn't found it. You're right. I understand nothing of what you say, but I understand enough. Look at that.
She's hitting the lights, bro. We know what that means.
Oh, yeah. Wake up the next morning. I love this, dude. I mean, the coloring, the scenery, like putting him in this. They're kind of doing it with that new Wolverine book that Hickman and Capullo are doing.
Yes, which is what has me excited for that. And this stuff here, you mentioned Frazetta on the cover, like. This to me is very much Frazetta, like it kind of reminds me of like Fire and Ice and like all this kind of stuff. Like Wolverine's almost in the barbarian mode here, bare chested. He's got a spear, like he's got a loincloth on. I love that Wolverine immediately jumps into this role as tribal leader, and he's into it. He's having a good time with it.
I feel like Frazetta's imprint is all over this because I know he's a huge influence to Mignola. So definitely like some of the posing. A lot of this, like you can feel the Frazetta vibe coming off a lot of these panels.
And even with the story though, because a typical Conan story would be him coming upon a tribe and almost like besting the leader and becoming the de facto leader for a while and leading them on some kind of a raid or helping them out with some kind of fucking creature and then he moves on. Like Wolverine is in kind of Conan mode in this, and I love it. Like,
it's fantastic.
You could almost put Conan in this story and it still would have worked.
I like how they're like painting with this like war paint and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is
this
fucking
scroll comes up. Oh wait, dog, touch him with those ochres at your peril.
Yeah, it's like take your hands off my man, dude.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. I mean, look, because of his mutant powers, he does seem like a god to them.
Yeah,
and he's taking down dinosaurs. He's leading them to this they're gonna go to this like mountain eventually where one of their tribe members had gone previously and like never came back. I like this right here too.
Dude, yeah, this is one of my favorite pages. Like that, especially that top panel with the the silhouettes all diagonal with the T-Rex and just the white of his mouth. Give us more Wolverine fighting dinosaurs. I'm all about that, dude.
It's fun, dude. Such a great story. Now they call him a demon. Look at that. They stab it with this spear to just like they don't understand, like, you know, he's fine. And like,
that panel's great too with the red in the background.
Oh yeah.
He just pulls it out like total badass. That's a badass Wolverine moment. Just takes the spear. He's like, "Are you done?" Just pulls it out. You know,
dude. How about that? You're lucky, bub. In a different time and place, you'd be horse meat right now. Get up and don't ever try that again. I don't always keep my temper, which is interesting because he does have like that rage inside him, and he keeps it like stifled down for the most part in this story. He lets it loose a little bit, but not, you know, he's not as visceral as he can be. Dude, how about this? Wolverine versus the T-Rex, dude. I love this shit.
Dude, yeah, I know. That's a great splash page too.
Dude, I love these too. Like when he goes straight at it, his hand gets bit and he's just telling them all to run. And next thing you know, he's inside and they're like, oh my God, he's gone. And then Gak is like, gone, and my heart with him. But I swear, my Logan, on the secret burial ground of my ancestors, that you shall be avenged. But we know he's not going to die. And he fucking claws his way out of it, dude. I like how the flesh is just like splayed out. And it's almost like he's like hovering out of the hole.
Yeah.
Blood on his claws. And then we see it's a fucking robot. So much like the body, or as he called him, the Johnny, that he saw that he had the scent of the Savage Land, he sees now that this dinosaur is a robot and there's more than meets the eye going on here.
Right, because Wolverine's been to the Savage Land before, and he knows that there are real dinosaurs there. So the fact that it's a robot means something else is going on.
And so they go on this journey to this, as they call it like a mountain of fire. And then he grabs the costume. He throws on the brown and tans.
Great panel, dude.
Yeah. And then this
I
is
love
where
Mignola so much.
Oh, it's great, dude. I love this era of him because he's not quite what he is now, but you see all of it here.
You see the Kirby, you see the Frazetta.
Mm-hmm. And now he's going after Apocalypse. Apocalypse is the one behind all this?
Dude, yeah. I love Mignola's rendering of Apocalypse too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much Kirby in that image, like with the tech back there, and that could easily be like Darkseid, you know?
And what's crazy is he's not fighting for mutants, he's fighting for humans.
Yeah.
Which is completely against what Apocalypse is about.
And that threw me off when I was reading this, because I had always seen this book, and I have vague memories of maybe having it, but I honestly didn't remember anything about it. So I'm assuming that maybe I just saw it, or my cousin had it or something, because my cousin was a huge Wolverine fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't remember that detail.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever read it. So like you said, like I had seen it for the longest time, and I too hadn't read it, and I'm like, I didn't even know how Wolverine, Apocalypse, and Jungle would go together. It just seemed very odd, but it works completely here. And Gak tries to save him, but now Apocalypse is going to use her as kind of like bait for Wolverine. I love this part too, right here. Dude, he takes the lighter and he's able to pull his leg out of the boot and flicks the fucking lighter with his toes and then lifts it up to burn the fucking rope. Genius.
Another great panel.
Intermission's over, bub. It's time for the main event. I love that, dude. And it's funny because I know Walter Simonson. I mean, obviously he worked in the X-Men stuff doing like X Factor, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever wrote like X-Men proper.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's cool to see him writing a Wolverine story.
And writing for somebody else, like someone like Mignola, like, and you know, they kind of have similar sensibilities in that they're both very like Kirby influenced.
Yeah. What a great pairing though, the two of them together.
Makes me want to see maybe Walter Simonson like work on a Hellboy story with him.
That'd be cool, yeah. And now fucking Chackle or Chakel, you know, the son of the guy that was attacking Wolverine and speared him. Gak saves him, and Wolverine, like, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. And then we proceed to see this awesome. I would almost call this a 2-page spread, just because, like, it's almost like a mirror. Like, you get Wolverine on this side, blood splattering him, Apocalypse with blood flying all over the place, and then you see that it's not flesh under there. He's a robot.
This whole sequence is amazing. And like you said, it is, you know, the layouts are mirror images, the action like mirrors itself, and you know, I love him shredding this Apocalypse robot. It's so cool, like the close up of the faces.
And he's like saying, he's like, it's a robot. He's like, liar, my blood is as red as yours. So like even the robot Apocalypse is like unwilling to admit he's a robot. Which
Yeah,
you know, like obviously Apocalypse put him there.
yeah,
But dude, he
yeah.
just like
It's almost like a Doom
eviscerates
maneuver.
this.
You know, Doom would do something like that, like Doom bots and shit.
Just eviscerates this Apocalypse robot, dude. I love this when Apocalypse comes and tells him like what's been going on, and it's like a hologram of himself. It's not even him there, and that the robot developed a mind of its own and went against like what it was its purpose was. That's why it stopped worrying about mutants and started like worrying about humans and being against mutants.
Yeah, and then like Apocalypse almost took it as a chance to like fight himself, or you know.
Mhm.
So he manipulated the event so that Wolverine would destroy this robot for him, basically.
And Wolverine's gonna fucking destroy it.
Yeah. The lighter, of course, is also a grenade.
Uh-huh. And look at I built this laboratory longer ago than you can imagine. It's not for you to destroy. Oh yeah, I guess again, Bub, that's what I do best. And he just fucking takes the lighter, throws it, and destroys it, man. And I think the reds and the oranges, like they stand out so much in this because you don't get them frequently in the book.
No, the coloring on this is amazing. I mean, you know, as awesome as the Mignola line art is, this coloring gives Mignola's art like a different feel. I love seeing him colored by different people. It really emphasizes the different aspects of his art.
I'm pretty sure Chiarello colored some Hellboy early on.
Did he?
I
Okay.
think he did. Again, I may be remembering this wrong, but I'm about like, I'll say I'm 85% sure that some of the early stuff was colored by Mark Chiarello.
He might have even colored the Doom Strange book that we were talking about. I have to look at the credits for that because the art of that is very similar to this too.
But so good. Do they think Wolverine's destroyed? He's not. He's in his plane and he blows her a kiss as he returns home. And then we get the elder of the tribe telling the story to everybody. And then this last panel. So Wolverine fathered another child. I can't believe nobody's ever picked up on that.
I know, right? Like how is that? Like, I mean, that I know that's not Dakin, you know, or Dakin, but
come on. I mean, like nobody.
Let's pick up this thread and make another story, dude. What went on with this kid being raised in the Savage Land?
I know.
Also,
dude.
I want to point out how this book was $4.50 back in the day, bro. Cheaper than a regular monthly.
Oh, monthly now, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's such a great product. The paper stock, everything about this book, I love it, man. It's become one of my favorite Mignola stories, and
yeah, dude. And it's really available in a lot of dollar bins. I pulled this one out for $1.
yeah, I don't know where I got it from the swap group online.
Yeah.
But yeah, great book. Highly recommend. Go pick it up. And while you're at it, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.